Good evening, beautiful ladies, wonderful gents. Good evening, good afternoon. In the dark. Turn on the light. There's some light. There we go. Let there be light. Trying to get everything situated as I begin this little process. We got this calling all men. That's what we're going to do right now. I was trying to get something set up. I don't know why I can't get it pulled up. So I'm going to try doing live. But this is an important calling. This is a calling right now. I don't know how many old school folks out there remember when Ice-T was on, what was that, Arsenio Hall? And he was making a cry and plead, and I'll say this respectfully. He's making a cry and plead to, LA and just all across America, to cut the violence down, cut it out. Unnecessary deaths and stuff like that. So he got on his knees and all, made a plea like, oh, come on, man, whatever it takes. This is my plea on my knees. I'm not getting on my knees, but this is just my plea right now in regards to a calling to our men. And this calling to our men is extremely important for the fact that we can't allow nothing to separate us from really forming what we must form, which is a union. And once we can understand that union that we form is unity that's needed, that's going to build your community, that's going to build your family, that's going to help you individually. But it's going to start as men collectively realizing that it's going to take men to truly get through this together. And I'm not talking about, your little street hustle and shit like that. I'm not talking about those type of come-ups. We're not talking about that. We're talking about real unity in regards to putting one another on, helping one another build economics, supporting one another. It's like we're going to have to go back to the old days of the country where you see the dude chopping the wood, you just help him out and you help him build his home. You know what I'm saying? We're going to we really have to help one another build our homes. Now you say, you got to do it yourself. Now where we at right now, there's a battle that's against us. And this battle is like neck high right now on us. And it's now even in our own households. It's in your own families. It's in your own relationships. So the battle that you have that's against you is going to take us to recognize that we all going through these battles together. I mean, we all going through these battles individually. And the best way to solve these battles is us men really come together. So we can save our community, save our family, save that whole infrastructure. Because right now there's a system that's going against us and it's sending all firearms against us, such as your own family, your own kids. You know what I'm saying? That they hate that the system is placing out there on you is how can I put it? It's basically an image. Yeah, it's the image of destruction. So because this image of destruction that we have, this image is something that we don't need. So if we don't want this image, we must erase the image. And the only way to erase the image is, to have unity. And that unity that we're going to have as men, like I said, is going to save our community. So the beauty about what we do as men, and we must do as men, is that we do it for our families. You know what I'm saying? We do it for our women. It's not like we're doing it for ourselves. I remember stories that what my father told me in regards to how he was walk miles to make sure we ate, and I'm pretty sure he probably didn't even really eat. But what I'm saying to you is that we as men must realize it's time to come together and rise. So let's see if I could pull up. Like I said, I'm trying to pull up a video. I'm pull it up a little bit later on. Okay, I'm gonna talk for a hot second, but I really wanted to pull up two videos to be honest. Because this one video I just wanted to pull up was in regards to something I was going to talk about a little later on down segment, but I'll give you a quick rundown. One thing that we gotta not allow us to to interfere with. We can't allow this shit to interfere with us. Is that whole separation of where you from. Like I'm from New York, and you got the five boroughs. You got Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? Bronx. I said that. Staten Island, Long Island, Yonkers. You know what I'm saying? You got all these divisions, and so it's like a certain level of separatism. And so that separation, that division, forms a certain level of hatred. Where I don't fuck with Harlem niggas. I don't fuck with Brooklyn niggas. I don't fuck with them Queen cats. And then when you make the battle raps and you have cats like Karis One and MC Shan battling one another, and then you always got these battling with the hip hop, it really keeps a certain division amongst our boroughs. And then if you look across the city, you know what I'm saying, all the cities that's out there. So where we at with this is, as men, we must really not allow those differences, like where you from, or I'm from America, or where you from, or I'm from the Caribbean islands, where you from, or we are from Africa. And if you don't recognize that, then you ain't shit. Once we continue that, that conversation, we never go nowhere. So with this mission right here, we're going to go somewhere because we're not going to allow that to really destroy us. So that's one. Two, that weak stuff that most men possess. Okay, you know what? Before I go into that, that's going to be number three. Two, the love for money is something that we can't allow us to really divide. You know what I'm saying? That can be our division point. That can't be in the whole question, whole movement of really coming together so we can really save our communities. Money divides us and separates us and ends the whole run. When it's infinite zeros and infinite commas that will come with this whole movement that we must put out there. Like I said, black men rise, you know what I'm saying? We must rise, and we must realize that your enemy is in the dollar bill, and your enemy is in number three, your Jezebels. So we can't allow the dollar bill to distract us and take us away from the mission, and we cannot get caught up with the Jezebels, which makes us weak. So we're going to talk about the Jezebel of money and the unity that's needed. Okay, we must have unity in order for us to really move forward. Important folks. So all your men out there who have your channels and you have your panels and you have your views and you bring your smoke, as you say, you bring that heat, you bring the fuel, you bring all that, and you make a fossil because it'd be compressed and just become, be all pressurized and just become some type of element. And we look at it and be like, after all that conversation y'all had, is it a rare mineral or is it just like a rock? It's nothing. And so many people just been building rocks, and it's time for even myself. We just be making rocks, but now it's time for us to start building, diamond industries. Homes made from diamond. Your windows is diamond. You know what I mean? Like we must really build something that's really strong and concrete, because we're losing our families, we're losing our children, we're losing our women, and as black men, and as a black man, I believe that we deserve better. So the only way that you're going to get better is by responding in a better way, so that we can be looked at better. That's the key word, better. Okay. See, that's the word for the day. We must do better. And the way we're going to do better is we're going to have that unity. So we look at all your platforms out there. We look at your platforms. And we happy that we are having conversations. We look at your platforms. We're happy that you have followers. We look at your platforms. We are happy that you have movements moving in a certain direction, whether it's you with your school, you with your construction business, you with your tech business, you with your, your degrees, you with whatever it is that we're doing. It's a salute to all of us. But now it's time for us to really start bringing that together so we can cross this bridge, so we can have this economic movement that we must have for 2023 and 2024. And this ain't like a government movement. This is a movement that we created. It's time for Black men to rise. And shout out to you if you believe it's time for Black men to rise. So I'm asking those, I'm begging you who have a channel, you men who have channels, I'm begging you to slow down with the, I'm trying to prove my intellect to one another. And I want us to really more so now focus on who's going to lead the conversation with the stick. You know what I'm saying? You know how you have the you have the stick. I got something right here. Okay, cool, excellent. Go to the wall. Yeah, there we go. And you that's important. You have a class of men. We need a class of men, freshmen, and we need who's going to be there facilitating the blueprints in which we put together. We don't need all the chaos no more. We don't need the ruckus. We don't need the chaos, folks, because the chaos brings division. And one of the major chaos, like I said, is that Jezebel spirit. And we get caught up with the Jezebel spirit. So I wanted to go to a video. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me take my camera off. Okay, let me just see if I have it right here, but I'm trying to see why I don't see what I'm looking for. But this Jezebel spirit is damaging folks. I've been speaking of it for 2 years, and I'm telling you, it's very damaging because it would take us off our purpose. It's really bananas. I don't know what happened to the video. You may not see it. I don't see it. It's okay. So we're launching the Black Men Rise Tour. Black Men Rise Tour consists of a city to city, a state to state, city to city tour of uplifting projects that we be planting. It's like we're going to be planting seeds in different cities with uplifting projects and plans that they must implement throughout the course of the year. Okay, we're going to be having a focus. Okay, we're going to have a focus. See, many folks don't want to keep a focus, so we're going to have a focus, folks. And the focus is definitely going to be economic development. Okay, the focus is definitely going to be protection of our communities. Okay, I'm actually looking for a paper. The focus is going to be on building education systems that our youth want to be educated through. You know what I'm saying? Not something that we forcing, but we got to build an education system that the kids, the children, the youth, they want it. and the adults. Understand what I'm saying? Because our adults need an education system as well. Our adults need their own education system as well. And we ain't talking about college. Many adults had children and pulled them away from being fully educated because they dropped out of school. We're not talking about GED. We need an education system and program for our adults to teach them to be better parents. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of sugarcoating everything, we might as well just start going at it full-fledged, head to head, like a ram, and call it out for what it is. If we built schools, instead of talking about GED, but if we built schools, institutions for our people, our women who had children early, who had to drop out of school, all those boys who dropped out of school, if we focus on all those dropouts who are adults, who have children, and build institutions for parenting schools, that's just the focus. You know what I'm saying? That's the focus. Parenting schools. Better, my Lord. What y'all think about parenting schools? I mean, really, a parenting school, parenting how from the even if you chose not to go in public education, you went to parenting school from. Oh man, you understand what I'm saying? Let's just hit it right there on the nose. Let's stop sugarcoating everything. Now, I don't want to go to public school. I want to go parent school. You're only 11. Okay, I want to go to parent school. I want to know how to be a better parent. I want to be, by the time I'm 18, I want to be fully knowledgeable of how to be a great parent. Maybe I want to teach. Parenting school consists of a lot. It consists of about paying bills. Parenting school. Understand? So it's like we as black men, we have to put together our own plans, what we want and what we need in our community. And we must be able to go out there and implement. And that's what this live is about. I'm gonna call this part one. This is the introduction. I was just on my journeys walking to the store and coming back, and I said, you know what, I believe it's time for me to do an introduction. And the funny thing is, a lot of times I always do long lives, but this one, I'm gonna keep it short. This time I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pull up this man video real quick to let him close it out. Because it's important for us to be able to know and identify various things, certain things. And one thing that we must know is background. Let's do a quick background check. Okay. Like, one thing we don't do is like background checks. How many people did like a DNA test? I want to know how many people did like a DNA test, and not just did a DNA test, but did a DNA test to find out, not who the baby daddy is, but who did a DNA test to find out, where their genealogy traced back to. Because everyone quick to say they're indigenous to America. I would like to know who did their test to say that their blood is they trace to California in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? You got 80% in North Carolina, 12% in New Jersey, and 1% in New York. All right. So let me pull this up right here. Come back to me. Okay, cool. I say that because when we come together at the table, we ready to build. It might be important for us to have a DNA kit there. You feel me? It might be important for us to have a DNA kit there. Let's see if you can see this. Hopefully you can see this. Okay, well, this man did his DNA testing. Well, actually, it's his daughter. She did it. It's difficult for the men to do certain things. But you figure the daughter do it, she comes from the man. And I'm going to show you the dude, what he looks like. He's from Kentucky. 80% his DNA traced to Africa. Nigeria, Cameroon, Congo, Benin, Togo, the Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Senegal. He had 1% Asian, and he had 19% Europe. The scary thing is that many of us folks let me go out here. Many people don't really move because they get stuck on trying to pull facts and things like that. But what's scary is that when you really look at the planet, the whole world and the land space that we walk on, the Earth itself, I'm pretty sure, was more connected. It wasn't like divided and surrounded by the bodies of water it really is. I know that they was able to walk from Europe to Africa. I know that piece of land was together. Who's to say that it wasn't dug out like they dig out canals? I truly believe that it was easy to walk from Europe to Africa and Africa to Europe. You know what I'm saying? In certain times, extremely easy. So when it say your DNA is also from Europe, and I was looking at the area of Europe. It's like, yo, folks, this is right on top. It's right there. So what separated the land? What separated the world, the earth? It's in this manner. So you get your DNA test. Take that before you get on panels and start talking. You from here and you not from there. We gonna have to start showing receipts. Okay, folks.